Angie, do you ever feel like using AI with your clients would be cheating? It's one of my
Y
fears.
yeah, kinda.
AI. Yeah, because up until recently, I use AI, for almost everything, except for I really wouldn't use it to help me with my clients. So I'm going to intro us first because I want you guys to know who we are. We're Seer, and we're a community for coaches who believe the best conversations never happen alone. I said this on our last video, and I kind of like it, so I'm sticking with it. I'm Susie. This is Angie. What do you think?
I mean, here's my admission. I don't use AI with my clients yet. We have some things that sear in the works that I think I'm gonna start experimenting with, once we follow all the right safeguards and things. But I will say I have had clients use AI and then bring me the result like, hey, we want to create a plan to do XYZ thing. And they input it all. Like I've got some who love AI and so they've been using it and then they will give me the deliverable.
Oh,
So, did I have a fear? Do I have a fear that they're like, oh my God, why am I talking to Angie if AI can just give me this plan? Like, yeah, that thought has crossed my mind.
yeah. Yeah, and I know that coaches are probably all over the map right now with how they feel about AI, and they could be just like us. Like I haven't used it with any clients as well, and now I'm considering it. And again, like Angie said, with all the ethics around it, but the more I play around with AI, and I've had that same experience too, where I've had clients go use it, come back, and give me the information. I thought that was kind of cool, and you as coaches might be really scared of dabbling in it, or maybe you've already jumped in and you're totally using it for everything, which is very cool too. Do you feel like, Angie, you're in a hell no kind of space? I think you said you might start thinking about it, but where
Yeah,
are
I
you
mean, I
on that
think
scale?
I think my biggest fears around it were about feeding it personal information, which, like, of
Yeah.
course, don't do. But I was a little bit like, I was a little more antsy until we had some conversations inside of our community about what exactly does it mean, like having a paid subscription, talking to clients about if they're okay with it. Like until I had those, my reluctance was I don't want to give this computer brain all this information that then I don't know somehow might be used for, not the right thing or like I don't know, I was just like scared of the unknown of
Oh,
how could that
absolutely.
be
Yeah.
used. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
Mm.
biggest hesitancy. I mean, I think I'm not sure that I doubted that it wouldn't come up with like good thoughts that could help, but or good outputs that could help in a coaching scenario, but I was more afraid of like what am I giving? What am I feeding into the machine and is it okay to do that?
Oh, yeah. I was putting in stuff like that I could get coached with. Like for me, like, hey, I'm having an issue on this. And then I would delete, 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 delete. Like, I don't know is that I don't want to give my information away either. Like, what is actually happening on the back end with all this information? I'm a little creeped out about that still.
Mhm.
But again, I feel like Angie and I are going to repeat ourselves a lot. You want to make sure you get the paid version, all that other stuff too. But I still feel a little bit weirded out about giving like
Yeah.
what's going on up in here.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
yeah. So I looked up what some fears around AI that coaches might be having.
Did you ask AI?
Maybe.
Just curious.
It's a good question.
Just curious.
I don't know. So it's the some of the fears said, what if I end up getting too used to it? Then I get sloppy and AI ends up doing all the work. That was a fear. Using it with clients feels like cheating, like the one I was saying. Maybe AI is making the world less human and I don't want to be a part of that. And what if my clients find out and feel betrayed, which we've talked about that anyway in a different sort of way in another video. And what if AI gives my client bad advice and I miss it when I'm giving the feedback because you just rely so much on the AI, end up relying so much on the AI. What do you think of those? And does any of them land for you, or do you have like a whole other fear list going on in your head?
I can understand those. And I think that part of, if we're talking specifically about coaching, I do think that there are going to be people who are going to rely on AI for answers and help. And I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. Like, I think that's great. Like, if it gives them, the help that is safe and thought out and, all those things.
Yeah.
I think that when I talk about a coaching relationship, what I talk about is, or what I think about is, really like this is like a, and I don't necessarily think I say human connection, but it is a relationship that's
Yeah.
built on, sharing information and caring about another person and like rooting for them. And rooting for them can take a bunch of different forms, like helping them solve problems, holding them to account when they're not, you know, remembering the things that are important to them, just like being there for them, being another witness to like their experience. And, maybe someday AI will get to that place. But, there are just like things that I know about my clients because I've had such a long relationship with them that inform the way I talk to them or the solutions we come up with that frankly, if I was trying to describe that person in like an AI prompt or something to get help in helping them, like I don't know that there's like even language to download all of the relational information.
Totally.
So like
Yep.
in that regard, I think that the way I'm thinking about AI is like for pattern recognition or for, like build this kind of spreadsheet or this plan, like kind of more utilitarian things. But like the relational part, which I think is a helping professional, because I'm thinking about like a therapist or like a coach.
Mm.
Like I think it's so much more about like the chemistry between the people.
Yeah.
So do I think you could get lazy and yet like and rely on it? And yes, yes, I do think. But I also think there's a very like important part that I'm not sure can ever be duplicated, and that's like the person to person relationship that I think I've valued in coaching relationships.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I would just be repeating everything you say because I also do like that human connection, and I value someone knowing me deeply. Actually, I think it's really cool when they point out or remember this thing and about me that I feel seen, by another human being. It feels really good, which I think that would be very different from my AI. So if my AI said something about, don't forget, like you had this, I'm like, oh, well, thanks. It's just like a calendar reminder or something is like how it would land to me. But when another person cared so much that they remember this thing about me, I think is a whole different experience, even if it was like the coach relationship. I have to say though, I wouldn't want to put all my information right into AI, but then I do know there are some people that have a hard time bringing up some truths to other people. So that might be really cool. And they're more introvert. They're scared, right? So what a cool tool to just maybe start talking about and get some languaging around and get some, feedback a little bit, but knowing full well it's AI, right? It
Mhm.
may not be completely accurate, right? And all this stuff. It's not taking into consideration your whole story. So I think just as a starter, it might be really nice. But then if you can, my opinion is transition over to a human person and be like, okay, so given now, like almost like you would talk to AI, given this information, right? And I've already started this chat. And now I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about this. Can we, can I discuss more with you? What do you think?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think that the accessibility to help could be really cool. I mean, you can like hear my hesitancy. I'm like, where is that information going and where is it pulling the
That's the
helping
only, yeah.
information,
Have
right?
you heard of in the Teslas, they've got grok therapy?
Well, from you.
Yeah, I know. You haven't heard anybody else talk about it?
No.
I'm a little scared for all the people who's been getting therapied by this could be my hot take. Sorry, guys. You might not totally agree with me, but like sitting in their car, going home, giving all the information to get therapized. And like, now what is happening with that information? I am a little bit nervous about that, but
Yeah.
it is out
Yeah.
there. People
I
are
think we
using
have
it.
a healthy dose of skepticism, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a new thing. But I think that
Hard.
the truth is that we have to acknowledge that it is out there and being used. And so how are we going to exist in relation to it? That's a
Yeah,
choice. I mean, I also think it'd be completely fine if you decided not to use it at all.
totally. Absolutely. For help, like as in a therapy sort of way.
Yeah, or at all, at all, at all. I mean, do I think that there's gonna be some repercussions to that? Yeah, but I think that you could decide not to.
I think one could decide not to. I'm going to go a little bit against what you're saying. I feel like people will start being left behind because it is being pushed so much that, and it is out there everywhere, kind of like Google. And at some point, if people were like, well, I
Mhm.
don't use Google, I'm going to go to the library to go look that up. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And so, you're like, oh, I might hire someone else that uses the Google because they can get the information faster. I just wonder, like, if you don't
Mhm.
use it at all, then what is that other repercussion? But I do still think one needs to go double check, fact check, go don't stop using your brain just because you're using AI.
Mhm. Mm.
That's where I land with that.
Yeah, I hear ya. I'm not saying I am advocating for not using it at all. I just think that as people are in this period of figuring out, like, how does it fit,
Totally.
someone might decide that it doesn't fit in their practice or in their whatever thing, and
Oh yeah, for that for sure. Yeah, and you don't want to use it in your practice? Yeah, totally. I keep going landing back to like I'm cheating myself out of trusting my own instincts if I
mm,
keep relying on AI, right? So I have a little bit of that.
because I do. Yeah, I mean, to articulate a little bit more, I don't think I said this before, but there is also kinda like a gut feeling that you have when you're interacting
Yes.
with someone that, like, I don't sometimes I have a hunch
Yeah.
about something and, like, I don't know. I don't think that AI has a hunch. Maybe it will get so good that it'll have a hunch at some point, but that's a human
That'd be
thing.
weird. Like, I
Right
have a
now, I guess I'm gonna say right now, that's a human thing. We might revisit this
yes.
video in the future and
I'm gonna say it's gonna be forever a human thing only because it's all about the codes in the background for all the computers. Oh, it's gonna be so weird if robots can make hunches. But I do believe for me, like one of my values, like, is that I'm gonna use my brain. I'm not gonna let something else, like, overtake, even though I might use it as a tool. Like, I'll always probably use it as a tool. I'm gonna make my own judgments. I'm gonna trust my own gut and my instincts because I just feel like that is one of my other tools as well.
mhm,
Uh, but it's really just about using AI or any tools wisely.
mhm, mhm. Yes, I agree.
Are there any other fears that you can think of that could be just kinda left field?
One that I think, I mean, kind of is implied is just like, I don't know enough to use it. I mean,
Mm,
and what I think about that is like, okay, I'm busy doing my job. Like now I've also got to go learn this thing. Like that could feel really big, which is where
yeah,
I think like kind of starting small, if this is something that you want to dabble into, and just doing a little bit, experimenting a little bit with it, I think can help. But it's almost like it's so big, I don't know where to
yeah,
begin, is a fear that I've had and have slowly kind of been chipping away at
yep.
with Susie's help.
Well, we didn't know that this was gonna be a segue, but I really do wanna say this, is that what a great segue into just our community anyway, because we do test out even like small tools in within AI just to like go dabble around in. And that is really one of our subjects for this month. If you're happening to be listening to this in the month of May of 2026, is like go. We're dabbling together and bringing notes and then seeing like what's working and what isn't. So come join us for those conversations. I really think it if you are afraid, or even if you're not afraid and you feel like you're using it, I still think we have conversations for you too. So come and talk with us.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. I'm glad we talked about this, Angie.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up, and thanks for pushing me along on the AI journey, Susie.
You are very welcome. So we're having the have. So come and join and see you later.
Bye.
Bye.